Well, hello again, everybody. This is Mr. Curtis from McLoughlin, and I'm representing the fourth grade team. Today, we're going to talk about adding fractions with like denominators from Chapter 6 from our Harcourt-Mifflin textbook. So, our learning targets today are adding fractions with like denominators and solving numerical or numbers and real world math problems involving addition of fractions that have like denominators. And we're going to practice that together in this short video. So first off, let's talk about our vocabulary. What does the word like mean? Well, like means that when things are the same in this case. So when the denominators are the same. And then when we go to denominators, the word denominators really means the number on the bottom of the fraction. It means how many pieces would it take to make a whole. In this case, in 3/4, the denominator notes how many pieces there are in a whole, which is 4, and the numerator, the top number, is the number of shaded pieces or pieces that we have, 3 out of 4. So let's go back and talk about like denominators. In addition of fractions, in order to add, the denominators must be like or the same. So if I'm trying to add 1/2 plus 1/3, I can't do it right now. So I've got to be able to have common denominators. So now that I have 1/2 plus another half, I have both our halves. That means now I can start adding across. 1 plus 1 is 2, and the denominators stay the same, 2 halves. Here I have a third plus a fifth. I can't add them yet because the denominators aren't the same. So, in order to do that, I would need to have thirds. Now I can add this problem. 1/3 plus 1/3 happens to be 2/3. So let's kind of think about that as we move on to the next slide. I use a quarter as our real life math problem here because quarters and dimes represent 1/4 of a whole is a quarter, and a dime is 1/10 of a whole. Quarters are called quarters because it takes 4 of them. It's an old Latin word which means 4. It takes 4 quarters to equal a whole dollar. If I have 2/4 plus another fourth, how many fourths do I have? If you said 3/4, that is correct. Quarters are the same as fourths, and so here we have 1, 2, 3, 3 out of 4. So not quite a whole dollar, but close. When working with dimes or tenths of a dollar, if I have 4 dimes or 4 tenths, and I'm going to add another 3 tenths or 3 dimes, what do I have? Well, when adding with fractions, our denominators aren't added. Just the numerators or the number on top. And since 4 plus 3 is 7, together we have 7 dimes or 7 tenths. It's just a good reminder that when we add fractions, we only add the numerators. The denominators stay the same. We can use fraction bars too, and you'll see these quite often, in order to model math of fractions. We have the denominators are the same. We have 3/8 over here and adding 4/8. So what we can do is we can take the 3/8 and the 4/8 and we can kind of write an addition equation like this, where we just kind of slide the numerators together and plop them on top of that 8 denominator, since denominators don't change when adding. And when we do that, we will get 7/8. 3/8 plus 4/8 is 7/8, and you can count them there. The last thing to really just kind of reiterate is when working with fractions, if we have common denominators or like denominators, then yes, you can add. You can add them across. So 5 plus 4 is 9. The denominator stays the same. Or you can kind of move them down here and put them over the same denominator. My numerator's on top over 13. And when I add those together, I will also get 9/13. We'd like you to complete the task in Google Forms. Hopefully this video was was helpful in understanding how to add fractions with like denominators. Please send any questions to your teacher, and we look forward to your responses. Bye for now.